Scientists predict that there are actually an infinite number of dimensions that all take place in the exact same space. What would you do if one day you woke up in one of these alternate worlds? A world just like your own, but actually very, very different. Imagine the fear and loneliness that would plague your mind as you realize that nothing around you was familiar. Meet John Zagaris, the Man from Taured. In July of 1959, a man arrived at the Tokyo airport. The man was really only visiting Japan, though he spoke fluent Japanese as well as fluent French. There was nothing really out of the ordinary with this dude. I mean, he got off his flight and he headed to customs. But what happened next confused and concerned people for decades. After showing the staff his ID and passports, they came to notice something very strange. His country of origin was known as Taured. The only problem with that is that Taured does not exist. But the staff noted that other than that, the passport actually seemed very legit. Why would he take the time to make a fake ID and a fake passport to look so well, but be from a fake country? Security was then called to question the man further. And the man was so confused. I mean, nobody had heard of his home country. Therefore, he began naming off the names of cities from his country, as well as history from his country and the fact that it takes place in Europe. And in his wallet, he actually had both currency from Japan, Spain, and France. They then brought him a world map and asked them to point out where his country was exactly. He then pointed to the border of France and Spain and realized that his country was not there. Now the man was both confused and terrified. He was convinced that the airport staff was just pulling some cruel joke on him, and the staff was running out of ideas. This man was either telling the truth or was guilty of some sort of crime. Until they could decide what to do with him, they actually put him in a hotel room. In order to make sure that he wouldn't escape his hotel room, they placed 2 security guards outside of his door and had him several stories high. The man then complained of a headache and told his security guards that he was going to try to sleep it off. A couple hours later, the police arrived for further questioning. They knocked on his door to no response. After several tries to knock on the door and getting no response, they had a member of the hotel staff come and unlock the door for them. And when they entered the room, they found a perfectly clean, vacant hotel room. No luggage, no passport, and no John. Just an empty hotel room, ready for another hotel guest. And John was never seen again. So what do you guys think of this story? Do you think it's just an urban legend, or do you think that John was actually a traveler from another dimension? It all sounds like it's out of the Twilight Zone to me. I mean, I love this story, but it's so creepy, and it's like a perfect science fiction story if it's real. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and as always, be nice to each other.